Sydney's ASMR. Oh, hello there. Welcome to my clinic. Yes, please take a seat, and I'll explain to you what's going to happen today. So, right now I have this handy dandy book. It has hundreds and hundreds of questions. But today I'm only going to ask you 100 questions. And you might be wondering why. Well, these questions will help me understand you better as a human being. And it will help me be able to help you better in your mental health. So, please take a seat, get comfortable, and answer as honestly as possible so that I can help you the best that I can. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin. For a person who you loved deeply, would you be willing to move to a distant country knowing there would be little chance of seeing your friends or family again? Do you believe in ghosts or evil spirits? Would you be willing to spend a night alone in a remote house that is supposedly haunted? If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them yet? If you could spend 1 year in a perfect happiness, but afterward would remember nothing of the experience, would you do so? If not, why not? Okay. If a new medicine were developed that would cure arthritis but cause a fatal reaction in 1% of those who took it, would you want it to be released to the public? You discover your wonderful 1-year-old child is because of a mix-up at the hospital, not yours. Would you want to exchange the child to try to correct the mistake? Do you think that the world will be a better or worse place 100 years from now? Okay. Would you rather be a member of a world championship sports team or be the champion of an individual sport? Which sport would you choose? Would you accept $1 million to leave the country and never set foot in it again? Which sex do you think has it easier in our culture? Have you ever wished you were of the opposite sex? You are given the power to kill people simply by thinking of their deaths and twice repeating the word goodbye. People would die a natural death and no one would suspect you. Are there any situations in which you would use this power? Okay then. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the body or the mind of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want? What would constitute a perfect evening for you? Would you rather be extremely successful professionally and have a tolerable yet unexciting private life, or have an extremely happy private life and only a tolerable and uninspiring professional life? Okay then. Whom do you admire most? In what way does that person inspire you? At a birth, you could select the profession your child would eventually pursue. What would you do? What would you pick as your child's profession? Good choice. Would you be willing to become extremely ugly physically if it meant you would live for 1,000 years at any physical age you choose? If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one ability or quality, what would it be? Okay. You have the chance to meet someone with whom you can have the most satisfying love imaginable, the stuff of dreams. Sadly, you know that in 6 months, the person will die. Knowing the pain that would follow, would you still want to meet the person and fall in love? What if you knew your lover would not die, but instead betray you? What do you think? It's a tough one. If you knew of a way to use your estate following your death to greatly benefit humanity, would you do it and leave only a minimal amount to your family? What would you do? What would you do? Do you prefer being around men or women? Do your closest friends tend to be men or women? Men or women? If you could use a voodoo doll to hurt anyone you choose, would you do it? Would you use a voodoo doll on your worst enemy? While on a trip to another city, your spouse meets and spends a night with an exciting stranger. Given that they will never meet again and that you will not otherwise learn of the incident, would you want your partner to tell you about it? If roles were reversed, would you reveal what you had done? Are there people you envy enough to want to trade lives with them? Who are they? Who would you want to trade lives with? For an all-expense paid 1-week vacation anywhere in the world, would you be willing to kill a beautiful butterfly by pulling off its wings? What about stepping on a cockroach? Interesting questions. Would you be willing to murder an innocent person if it would end hunger in the world? Would you be able to murder an innocent person to end world hunger? appeared to you in a series of vivid and moving dreams and told you to leave everything behind, travel alone to the Red Sea, and become a fisherman, what would you do? What if you were told to sacrifice your child? What would you do, bro? What would you do? What is your most treasured memory? Treasured memory, tell me. Okay. Have you ever hated anyone? If so, why? And for how long? Would you rather be given $10,000 for your own use or $100,000 to give anonymously to strangers? What if you could keep 1 million or give away 20 million? Okay. If you knew there would be a nuclear war in 1 week, what would you do? Interesting. Would you accept 20 years of extraordinary happiness and fulfillment if it meant you would die at the end of the period? What is the greatest accomplishment of your life? Is there anything you hope to do that is even better? What was your most enjoyable dream? Your worst nightmare? Would you give up half of what would you give up half of what you now own for a pill that would permanently change you so that 1 hour of sleep each day would fully refresh you? Fully refresh you, yes. Okay. If you knew you could devote yourself to any single occupation, music, writing, acting, business, politics, medicine, and be among the best and most successful in the world at it, what would you choose? If you knew you had only a 10% chance of being so successful, would you still put in the effort? Okay. What was your best experience with drugs or alcohol? Okay, now what was your worst experience? Okay. Do your close friends tend to be older or younger than you? Okay. If the person you were engaged to marry had an accident and became a paraplegic, would you go through with the marriage or back out of it? What would you do? It's tough. Okay. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would that one item be? Okay. How would you react if you were to learn that your mate had a lover of the same sex before you knew each other? When were you last in a fight? And what caused it? Okay, that's kind of silly. And who won? Okay, let's see what we got here. When did you last sing to yourself? Was it in the shower? When was the last time you sung in front of somebody? Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as your dinner guest? As your close friend? Okay. Now, if you could pick anyone in the whole wide world, who would you want as your lover? Okay. Interesting. If you could choose the manner of your death, what would it be? How do you want to die? Okay. We're about halfway done with the questions now. Do you have any specific long-term goals? Okay. What is one, and how do you plan on reaching it? Okay, look at you. You go, girl. How do you react when people sing happy birthday to you in a restaurant? It's embarrassing, I know, yes. For what in your life do you feel most grateful for? Oh, good answer. It is Thanksgiving. Would you like your spouse to be both smarter and more attractive than you? Okay. If you found that a good friend had AIDS, would you avoid him? What if your brother or sister had it? Would you be willing to give up sex for 1 year if you knew it would give you a much deeper sense of peace than you have now? Oh, okay. A good friend pulls off a well-conceived practical joke that plays on one of your insecurities and makes you look ridiculous. How would you react? How would you react to that? Tell me. Okay. By controlling medical research funds, you are in the position to guarantee that a cure will be found in 15 years for any disease you choose. Unfortunately, no progress on any others would be made during that period. Would you target one disease? One disease. And that's it? For 15 years? Interesting. Would you add 1 year to your life if it meant taking 1 year from the life of someone in the world selected at random? Would it matter if you were told whose life you had shortened? Interesting. Can you urinate in front of other people? Okay. If you walked out of your house one morning and saw a bird with a broken wing huddled in some nearby bushes, what would you do? Okay. Okay, let's see. When you tell a story, do you often exaggerate or embellish it? If so, why? Why are you like that? Okay. Do you feel that advice from older people carries a special weight because of their greater experience? Okay. Without your kidney as a transplant, someone close to you will die within 1 month. The odds that you will survive the operation are only 50%. But should you survive, you would be certain of a normal life expectancy. Would you consent to the operation? Okay. Would you die for a stranger? Okay. Would you die for a dog or a cat? When did you last yell at someone? Why did you yell at them? Okay, I see your point. Do you regret yelling at them? Okay. I understand. Would you be willing to go to a slaughterhouse and kill a cow? Are you a vegetarian? Do you feel ill at ease going alone to either a dinner or a movie? Okay. What about going on a vacation by yourself? Like a trip to Disney? Okay. I understand completely. If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you were living now? Anything at all? Anything at all? Okay. If you were to discover that your closest friend had a heroin dealer, what would you do? Okay. Have you ever seen an episode of Breaking Bad? Okay. If so, who is your least favorite character on the show? Me too. I hated them. They were awful. Is it easy for you to accept help when you need it? Would you even ask for help? Okay. Would you like to be famous? In what way? Like a TikTok star, a movie star, Okay, I gotcha. How do you picture your funeral? Is it important for you to have people mourn your death? Okay, I see what you mean, girl. Let's see what we got here. If you could choose the sex and physical appearance of your soon-to-be-born child, would you do it? Would you want them to be male or female? Or do you just not care? Okay, I get what you mean. Is there something you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Okay. Why haven't you done it yet? Alright. What are your most compulsive habits? Do you regularly struggle to break these habits? Are you addicted to anything? Tell me. Okay. What do you most strive for in your life? Accomplishment, security, love, power, excitement, knowledge, or something else? Okay. Yeah, it can be more than one. Okay. Alright, we have one more question. Does the fact that you have never done something before increase or decrease its appeal to you? Okay, I see you. I get what you mean. Yeah. You know, I just realized I forgot to ask you the most important question. What's your name? Okay, yeah. Yes. Thank you. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Let me write that down. And your middle name. Okay, wonderful. Yes, 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 yes. What about your mom's maiden name? Yes, yes, yes. I know I should have gotten this in the beginning, but I was just so excited to ask you those questions.